for choosing to rise with sunrise. Listen, we have such an exciting segment coming up right now that I can hardly contain myself because it is a topic that I am just so interested by. So listen, in this week's Parents Happy Hour, we'll be discussing how parents can support their children in developing their own identities without imposing their personal ideals or expectations. So hard to do. It's important to know how we can strike a balance between guiding and dictating, emphasizing the importance of fostering independence, but critical thinking and self-expression. So our guest, founder of College Co, Amanda Jardine, tells us more. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Amanda, I'm happy to be a part of the discussion too, because you know it takes two to be parents or to have a child.
Yeah, and you know, we were saying in the break, it's so funny because you know, I have younger kids, he has older kids, but it's like it never stops.
Right,
right. And then I'm coming from a different perspective. I'm not a parent, but I've worked with hundreds of teenagers over the years, so I've been able to see from that perspective of just understanding, you know, with their personalities and the nuances that really make them who they are and how to guide them on their different paths. So
you know, this is a difficult challenge, and of course Tami alluded to the fact that she has younger children and I have older. It's a difficult challenge not to impose yourselves, your dreams, aspirations on the child and to allow them to find their mold and their own identities, you know. Why is it so difficult, you find in your...
I think not in my experience, it's generational a lot of times. And the children nowadays are living through a particular time with social media, with artificial intelligence, and they're exposed a lot more than even I have been, or maybe you have been as well. And so they're coming from that perspective of just having so much information coming at them at once, and then parents are coming from their other perspective, and of course they want the best for their children, but what was best 20 years ago might not necessarily be what's best for them right now or 10 years from now. And it's about how to, I guess, meet somewhere in the middle and compromise, and how to really understand where the child is coming from as well.
And I do think we live in that age now where I feel like our children have a voice. They have something. It's not like when we were growing up, you know, there was the whole thing of, hey, you're seen, not heard. But now we have, they are living, breathing, little people.
Little people, exactly.
But I do want to know the difference between perhaps guiding a child and controlling a child, or trying to manipulate them to do what you think is best for them, as opposed to guiding them along and then letting them have a say.
Letting them explore. And I think it's a precarious tightrope that parents have to constantly navigate. And I think that, you know, meeting somewhere in the middle and having those really important conversations with the child and talking through what they want, and maybe having them understand your perspective as a parent as well. And I think a lot of times for me in my meetings with parents, they're coming in and they're saying, I want my child to study engineering or to study business because that will make money and set them up for a future of success. And the child is, I'm passionate about film and I want to study that, or dance or acting. And how can we find programs that would allow them to do both, for example? And seeing where parents are coming from, of course, wanting the children to be set in the future, and the child wants to pursue their passions. And I'm a big advocate for the pursuit of passions and not limiting anybody because of what society deems acceptable or deems worthy.
And that's a cultural thing too as well. And I think that we have to face here, we are very much from the culture of, you know, doctor, lawyer.
Traditional,
these are what
traditional.
Even though that's changing, it's very hard to be a part of the change. It's very hard for us to say to our children, explore, especially when we feel like there is a timeline that has to be met or kept. There has to come a point where you start to take care of yourself. I can't do this forever. There's a lot of pressure on parents as well.
There's a lot of pressure.
Sorry I just wanted to ask real quick, do we have to solve all of their issues, all of their problems? Because I'm hearing you, and I feel like a big part of parenting sometimes means stepping back, active listening, we're not good at that.
Yeah.
Because we think immediately, if you come to me with a problem, you want me to fix it, right?
Yeah.
So let's tell us a bit more about that.
Okay, yeah. I think active listening is really, really important. I also think opening the room for dialogue and healthy debates is something that parents don't tend to give enough room to. And, you know, I'm reading a lot of college essays every day. I'm interacting with a lot of different teenagers, and where I'm seeing that their perspective is able to really flourish is when they have those types of home environments where they're able to have dialogue. I recently read a college essay. The student was talking about a debate with her brother at the dinner table, debating whether Jamaica should become a republic. So things like that are really interesting for students to open their perspective, and I don't think that parents have to solve all of their problems. And even more importantly, allowing them to fail is extremely, extremely important. Don't try to prevent failure. If they don't wake up in time for a math class, and I'm really talking about older kids, younger it might be a little bit different, and they miss a test, don't go hound the teacher to say, fix it, you know, allow them to relish in that failure. It's on you at that
And
point.
there's something to learn from that too.
Exactly.
And that's the difficult lesson to learn, but it's an important lesson to learn, that there's something to learn from failure. You know, we think that at failure is the end, and sometimes we are experiencing the failure through them precariously, vicariously.
For more advice on this topic, how can people be in touch with you if they wanted to be in touch and say, hey, you know, I need to get in touch and learn some more about this?
Yes. So for advice on this, and particularly for college prep, they can get in touch with me on Instagram at college_QUO, or you can email us collegeprep@collegequo.com.
College prep, that's where it's all going to.
Yes.
And the hope is that they're ready to go to college by the time we have done our part.
Yeah, and they have that independence to thrive there.
Exactly,
Yes, that's good,
exactly.
though.
Thank you so
Always
much.
Good discussion
And
to
insightful.
have.
I love the way she said, you know, your children can debate. They say, you mean chat back?
And I heard that debate, and my mind was like, listen, man, I am the parent.
We have to open up our minds
Listen,
to
that's a
that.
challenge for us. Listen, our guest has been Amanda Jardine, founder of College Co. Coming up next, we step over to Wags. That's Tami's favorite segment. Achoo! Is that the bird flu?
Oh, no.
We'll find out when
dear.
Sunrise returns.
We'll have a debate.
We'll have a debate.